sucks. It's not eliminates painting any better for me at all. I wonder if that's gonna mess with the. Oh well. I'm the one that needs to see it anyways. Painting. So hopefully this isn't. Whatever, I'm not painting over there anyways. There's just a huge glare spot right here for me. And it's distracting. But that angle illuminates the rest of it best for me. So that's alright. That's okay. I just feel kind of slow when I start, because like when I paint, I don't really. I've gotten to the point where I don't really think about what I'm painting anymore, or painting in general. I'm thinking about other stuff. So it takes me a minute to figure out what colors I need, what I'm doing, because my mind is going in a bunch of different directions that are not thinking about painting. And I don't know if that's good or bad. For right now, that's what I'm doing. I don't think there is a good or bad. There's what you're doing, and that's it. It has effects, some good, some bad, some immediately extremely horrible, some immediately extremely good, and then eventually pretty horrible. Like all the pollution that we've had, that we continue to create. It's because we like what we have. So we're just putting off the issue till we're dead, and then the next generations have to deal with our trash. Which is essentially what we're doing psychologically now. We're dealing with the trash of extremely crappy behavior over the past few millennia. Who knows? Who knows if humans ever, like, if... I think that we kind of go in cycles, but, what one thinks and what actually happens is not always directly correlated. But who knows if we were better in the past? But we're definitely better than we were. That's the only thing I can tell you for now. We fucked up a lot. But we're learning. And unfortunately, we're learning at the expense of our planet, and the expense of other people, and the expense of life. But there have been massive extinction things that have been caused before. Not by us, but they've happened. Life finds a way. Might not be the same, though. Might not be the same. But who cares? Might not be the same, but different can also be fun. Different can be life worth living. And when we have too much of the same thing, when we stay in too much of the same pattern, we start losing why we even are alive in the first place. And that's to experience. Not much else to do except experience. You can try to get somewhere in life. You could meditate for 1,000,000 hours. You could become Buddha. You could be Christ reincarnated, but who really cares? You can be anything you want to be. But if you're doing it over and over and over and over and over and over, is that really the purpose of being alive? Before. That's why we reincarnate. That's why we do a lot of things. I think. Who knows? I saw this TikTok. I don't actually use TikTok, but I saw a TikTok video on Facebook. This guy was saying, it was like a joke. It was a meme. It was like, stupid people always say no. Are you stupid? The guy was like, and he wanted to say no, but he kept on stopping himself. But I'll admit it. I've been stupid. Everyone's been stupid. Stupid is something, hopefully, you learn out of. But not everyone does. Not everyone wants to. Not everyone wants to actually self-improve. Not everyone is meant to be part of the light. Because light doesn't create darkness, but when something is illuminated, there is always a shadow. It's the object itself that creates its own darkness. But if there was no darkness, we couldn't see anything. You ever thought about that? It was always shining. The sun was always shining. Brighter than this thing, which is really annoying to me right now. I know I keep on bringing it up, but it's really annoying. If this was just pure light, if this was pure light, this was pure light, all this was pure light, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's the inherent darkness and absorption of light that gives things I don't know what, but it does something to it to where we can comprehend that it exists. It's illuminated. It reflects to us. I don't know. I just got a lot on my mind lately. I love the sound of a brush. I love the way it sounds. Paid by hearing. But if it wasn't for things absorbing, there would be no color. If it wasn't for darkness, there would be no color. Because darkness doesn't just create the grayscale. An imbalance of darkness is what creates color. This blue absorbs all the other forms of light, except for this one particular frequency in these little spots. Well, maybe it's a bunch. Maybe it's like a cluster of frequencies, and my brain is only able to see this. In the visible light spectrum, this is the only thing, the only one that I'm aware of. because all the rest of it is absorbed into the canvas, into the paint. Because of its darkness, it creates its color, it creates its character. It makes it this white and blue. More light there. More white. You ever wonder do you ever spend time wondering? Me too. I have a lot of wonder, but not many answers. I don't know if I'm interested in the answers anymore. There's lots of cool answers out there. There's evidence for whatever you want to believe. You can trick yourself into believing anything. And if you believe hard enough, you'll think it works. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. What matters though is, did it affect you? How did it affect you? How did that make you feel? Most of our lives are spent but what are we spending it on? I know this is a very kind of, people have been asking this question for a long time, but really, what are we spending our lives doing? Right now, I'm just painting and talking to nothing. Just talking out loud. What usually just is something that I don't even share with anyone. Just what passes through my head. I'm not saying that we should stop doing everything, but I want to know why we're doing anything. I understand the cultural context of, I am doing this whole art piece because I want to be able to sell, because I want to be able to have a career in the arts, and I want to be able to live out my dream. That's kind of the normal thing. You want to live your dream. Well, you do every night anyways. What is the dream? And if it is a dream, when do I become lucid? Because honestly, people want to wake up from the dream or whatever, like, they want to escape the matrix. No, I don't care about escaping it. I want to know how it works. If I'm in the dream, I want to be able to lucid dream. I want to be able to create things as I speak, abracadabra, you know? I want to be able to fashion things with ease. Which sometimes I do. I've noticed that most people, when they're enjoying themselves, they do the most amazing feats of strength, mental, physical, emotional strength, with ease, because they love what they're doing. And if you don't love what you're doing, strength won't be there for you. You have to love it. Well, what is it to love? But to give yourself wholeheartedly to. And you can't love everything. That's something I've had found out. You can kind of feign that a little bit. You can act in love towards all things, but you cannot love all things. Because to truly love something is to self-sacrifice, and you only have one self. You can only sacrifice yourself once. So be careful what you're sacrificing your life to. I chose art and my wife because I know I can directly make someone who I truly, truly love and admire and make their life better. Make her life better, I should say. But I can't do that for everyone. At least I can't. Some people might. You might be able to be polyamorous. I don't have that grace. But you can't be in two places at once, yet. So till then, you only have a set amount of things that you can devote your time to doing. And that's what you love. If you set intentional time aside to do something because you want to do it, not because some outside force is making you do it, you're in love. You're in love with what you do. Some people are in love with pain. Some people are in love with their own misery and the things that make them miserable, the things that continually hurt them. But they're still in love, and some love is poisonous. Not all love comes with the same intention. Unfortunately, humans do things for a variety of reasons. Not all of them are wholesome. The only thing you can guarantee is that in your own mind, you're acting in a way that does not impinge on someone else's free will, but benefits them. You're not trying to change them, fix them, do anything for them. You're just trying to be there if they need help. If they ask for help, you help them. If they need help and you see that they won't accept it, sometimes you gotta take a little bit of charge and help someone that's stubborn. Because some people just need just that little bit of nudge in order to, accept charity. Because some people are hurt and they've never had real pure love. They've only known love that's a love of manipulation. People that use them to get their own sense of satisfaction, their own sense of self-worth or meaning in life. Some people just get their jollies from it, let's be honest. Some people are just mischievous.
There's yes, there's factors that led up to that. There's also decisions though. There is free will. I've gone down the determinist rabbit hole for a while. I've looked at predestination and free will for ever since I was a kid. After being freaked out about hell because of my fundamentalist parents, I spend most of my life thinking about stuff like this. I wanted to know what is good, what is evil. Is there a good and evil? Is there a God? Is there not? What is a God? I think the biggest problem is a lot of people start off with looking for something but don't even know what they're looking for. People look for God, people look for magic, people look for destiny. They don't know what they're looking for though, so they'll never find it because they don't have the defined term of what they actually look, of what it actually looks like. People have a lot of thoughts of what God is, what God might be. None of them are right. Not even my own. You can't define something of infinite complexity. I'm not talking about just infinite number, because a lot of people, when I say the infinite, people think of just endless numbers. But think of endless qualities. You can't, if something has infinite qualities, you'll never be able to name them with language. You can never do, you cannot comprehend the infinite with sequential thinking. There's sequential understanding. When you go through logical forms, you are going, logical thinking, you are going through forms and formulas of ways of determining the truth. And you have to do that one at a time. You have to go through steps. You cannot do it holistically. It cannot see the whole picture. It only deals with the particulars. Well, logic deals with universals and particulars, but it looks at the particulars. Even the universals that logic uses are in fact particulars, because a true universal, if something is truly universal, it would be everything. I don't know. Maybe those dabs hit me too much. By the way, to Thomas, my bud tender from Cinder, if you watch this, dude, what's up, dude? Had a fun conversation with the bud tender over in my city, and he said he might want to watch the stream, so hopefully you are finding this interesting if you're here. I'm always thinking about just the weirdest fucking questions. But so is everyone. That's why I like to ask people what they're thinking about. When I feel like talking, I'm going to be honest. Most of the time, this whole talking bit that I'm doing right now, this is just a rare thing. I don't really like talking much. I prefer to just sit, observe, listen, think. Speaking because I know that the camera is rolling, and that I have an expectation to fill space. And in order to get my algorithm to boost, there are certain behaviors it needs to see/hear. I don't know what else I'm gonna fucking do with this. And that'll kind of kick it in. But I don't do everything for the algorithm. A lot of my life is really just saying, nope, I want to do my own thing. Like I kind of wanted to learn realism. Like I mean, I will eventually, but like I'm talking about like that hyper realistic photographic looking stuff. Like I think that stuff's cool, and I kind of wanted to pursue it for a little bit, but it doesn't give me the same feeling that this does. And there's already people that are way better than me at realism. Why should I start doing that now? Why waste my time? Because I would rather do what makes me feel fulfilled than what would make me popular. But still, at the same time, if I want to actually make a career and make money, I have to do certain bullshit that I don't agree with. Which is neither here nor there. I'll draw some ghosts in here. Oh yeah, so you want to hear a fucking story, man? So, today, cleaning, and I hear this like loud. That's very similar to it, except it was more metally sounding. And so I thought, you know, something like, you know, getting knocked over in the spare room. There's no fan on in there. There's nothing on. There's no movement. There shouldn't be any movement in there. No vents. No nothing. It wasn't coming from outside because when I got there, it was pretty fucking loud. And I see hovering above the, or not. I don't see him hovering. I see the table and the candle, where the candle is. I can hear the loud. And as I reach back for my phone to start trying to record it, it goes and stopped. Put my hand back. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. And while it's doing that, I tried to be sneaky and quickly pull up my phone, hit the thing, turn it on, record it. I hear it immediately just went to like a way less volume. Yeah, it's fucking weird. And it seemed to be emanating from above where the candle was, where the candle on the table was. But when I moved towards it to be able to hear where the sound was coming from, I could hear it coming from different areas. It was like I could hear it moving throughout the room. So it's my ghost story for today. Originally, I was going to save all this stuff for a podcast, but this is about as close as I'm going to get to the moment at the moment. looks a little too obvious.
And now, a silly song with Larry, where Larry comes out and sings a silly song.
Now it's time to paint the eye of the eye.
The I and I.
The I in I. So for y'all that don't know, this is this shape thing is part of my whole character thing that I do, which is called I Am Me, or it's spelled IAME. Uh, so it's a prism face, but the point of it is that it represents the underlying unity of all conscious beings. But mostly I use it on figures because I think that faces distract from what's actually going on. People end up like, oh, that face looks good, or what they do is they look at it like, oh, there's something wrong with the nose, you know. So I don't do faces because people get drawn to that and they forget the rest of the whole painting. And I don't want people to just look at one spot in my painting. I want people to look around. I want people to look at the gestures. What are they doing? What is the story behind this? You can tell story with facial expressions, but people have already done that. People have been doing that for a lot longer than I've been painting. People do it a lot better than me. I'm not going to do that. Eyes are such interesting instruments. I know there's going to be people that criticize how I paint, but I paint how I feel. I paint what I want. I destroy brushes, and I don't care. One thing, lovely artist named Aaron Smith, beautiful soul, said to me once is, if you look at all light has its own unique spectrum. And it's a very simple thought, and it's something that James Gurney talks about in his book Color and Light. But like this light bulb only emits certain frequencies of light. It'll only let certain colors pop. The sun makes certain colors pop because of the frequency of light that it emits. Because because everything we're seeing is, it's the color it is because of the light that it absorbs, but also the light that's emitted. So if I emit a blue light in a dark room onto a canvas that has a red dot in the middle, I'm not going to see the red dot as looking like this, like the red that I have. It's good. But I might perceive it as, oh, I know that's red because I know it's red. And then my mind makes the conscious kind of flip for me, or unconscious flip for me, I should say. I'm sorry. I forgot what the point of that was. I like the idea of like a bald eye. You know, an eye with no eyelashes, no eyebrows. It's like it's been burnt off almost. The intensity of what it's looking at. The intensity of the sun has burned off his eyelids. Not eyelids, eyelash. If it looks like I'm doing this mindlessly, it's because I am. I'm gonna probably end here soon. I'm getting hungry. It's almost time to start cooking. Typically, I want to end at like 4:30, but like today, I just want to run a little long. Well, it's that time.
So just a few brush strokes to correct some stuff, and then I'm stopping. Which is what every single artist says. Just a little bit more, and then I'm done. Because this whole thing is only going to last these 2 sessions. And after this, I am calling it, and I am saying I'm done. Because I can. I ain't got obligations to nobody for how I create. Unless you pay me beforehand, before I create something. If you want something done specifically, I might be able to help you. Most likely, I'm going to charge out the ass just because I'd rather do what I want to do. Okay. And we're done. Oh, wait. Almost forgot. Signing out. I grew up on the east side, Miami east side. Deep fried and moonlight, clam baked by the seaside. Tan legs with me. Y'all ever heard of Magic City hippies? Really like their song Fanfare. Holding down for the Hollywood ride. Tongue it's heavier, late on in the night. Here's another one for the dinner plate eyes. My tongue gets heavier, late on in the night. Holding out for the Hollywood bride. My tongue is heavier, late on in the night. Oh, my tongue gets heavy. And that's what it looks like so far. Oh, almost forgot. So y'all didn't get to see the signature because of the angle of this. We gotta just not have that on for right now. And there's the signature. Alright. Peace, y'all.